here at Yeti's Grind in Vail Village with Thomas Walsh. He's a local and a legend. Joining us for our coffee chat, we're going to learn about his Paralympic journey. But first of all, what are you drinking, Thomas?
I've got a white mocha. It's keeping me warm.
Okay, perfect. I got my chai tea keeping me warm as well. But we want to learn a little bit more about your journey to the Paralympics. Just last year, you were actually there. You won the silver in GS, but you grew up in the Vail Valley. Let's get your start. You were born and raised here, right?
I was born just down the road at the Vail Hospital, and this was such a wonderful environment and community for me to learn and be around the mountain and involved in so many things that our wonderful valley has to offer.
I know, I think he truly is the quintessential example of being involved in everything, because it wasn't just sports. You're also heavily involved with theater and a lot of different things going on. How are you juggling all that when you're a kid?
It's a very interesting combination of things. Art and athletics. I think there's a lot more similarities than people like to admit, but I grew up here and I really like skiing, so that was kind of my first thing, learning to ski, be on the mountain, that's the playground. And then I really discovered this whole world of art and dance and music and musical theater, and there's also wonderful opportunities for that to happen here in the valley as well. So some would say I was ADD or uncontrollable, but I think I just really liked to move, and I was able to do everything that I wanted to because everything was just out my back door.
I know, and it's so cool. I remember just seeing you in a lot of the performances and then hearing how you're doing on the hill, but then you did have a setback. As a young teen, you're diagnosed with cancer, so tell us about this and how it maybe kind of sidelined your plans for a while.
Absolutely, it's a big shock to anybody's life or anybody who's been affected by it, and it really kind of put my world upside down. So I had a lot of these dreams and goals of becoming a professional skier and racing the World Cup and racing in the Olympics. And cancer kind of had to put my life in perspective. And it was unfortunate because I was younger, but I felt old enough and mature enough to understand that I needed to be able to move on and look past that.
Yeah.
And so through that journey in that specific time, it was very challenging. But ultimately, I realized that skiing is kind of what I was born to do, coming from Vail. And it ultimately saved my life by being able to come home from treatments and take a few runs, even on the beginner hill, after some pretty complicated health surgeries. It saved my life, and so I decided to come back to ski racing, and I don't know what I'd be doing without it.
Yeah, well, do you think it even drove you even further because you're like, hey, I still have a chance, so I gotta take this chance now. It's kind of like now or never. You gotta do it.
Absolutely, and it really put in perspective that you only get one opportunity to try things, and that opportunity is always now. So I finished my cancer treatments. I went back to ski race as an able-bodied athlete at a high school in Vermont, and ski racing was different because my body was different. And then I decided to, capitalize on some of those younger passions of art and theater. So I decided to go to art school and stop skiing. I knew I could always ski for fun, but ski racing might not be my thing. And then I was actually asked to join the U.S. Paralympic ski team and compete in races as a disabled person. And that just opened up my doors again.
Yeah.
Now, instead of racing on the able-bodied World Cup or in the Olympics, I race on the Paralympic World Cup and in the Paralympics. And so I feel really blessed to have had those dreams as a kid, but now be able to apply them in just a little different vocabulary and in a different kind of world within our sport.
Definitely. And how did it feel when you were in Beijing to win the silver?
I've been reflecting on this for a long time now, and it's an amazing accomplishment, and it's everything that I ever thought it would be. I'm very fortunate, though, that I have a community and family and friends around me to understand that one moment in my career, I don't think really defines what I'm trying to do. And it is awesome that I've done it, and I'm really proud of the hard work that I put into it. But I do know that I have more to offer. While that might be the most highlighted part of my career, there are other things that simply being able to ski race and simply being able to participate in something that I never thought I'd be able to do again is ultimately the bigger dream and bigger accomplishment.
Any advice for your younger self? I mean, you are pretty young anyway, but when you look back, I mean, you really had to grow up fast. Anything you wish you would have told yourself? Anything that you know now that you wish you would have knew back then?
When I was younger, I was really into the arts, and I did ballet. And I was one of the only boys in this town to do ballet. And, of course, boys are boys, but I was also a really good ski racer.
Yeah.
So people kind of didn't give me too much flack about that. But what I would say to myself is, don't care so much what people think if you're doing something you like.
Yeah.
Work hard at it, but the world doesn't care what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
No one's going to judge you for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Words of advice from Thomas Walsh. All right, well, Thomas, cheers. Thank you for your time today. I know you're busy traveling back and forth to Europe, doing all the ski training, but we'd love to see you back in Vail.
Love to be here, Trisha. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.